Hello everybody, I'm Marley and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just going to get right into it and I'm going to be talking about the video that I'm going to be doing today. So the video I'm going to be doing today, I was really like, oh, I'm not sure what to do, I don't know what to do, but I'm thinking I'm going to do a bit of a maybe like story kind of video and maybe a bit of advice. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and if you do, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So, I'm going to be doing like a video about recovery and getting better from a mental health condition, and things you can do to improve, and yeah, how to get to that place. So, I suffer with anxiety and OCD, and I'm not ashamed of it, so hence why I'm, you know, feeling I feel like I can finally talk about it now. It's a little bit awkward talking about it so openly, but I think if it can help people, then why not? So yeah, so first of all, I have had anxiety for maybe 4 years now, yeah. Something hard in my life happened, so hence which really triggered it. I've always been a bit of a worrier, but I think, yeah, that's really what started the anxiety, this thing that happened when I was about, yeah, how old was I, 12, 13, so yeah. And yeah, so I suffer with anxiety. It would be things like being late, really made me so anxious, going to a lesson. I was so emotional. I'm an emotional person, but I was so it wasn't a nice time, you know. I was uncertain about a lot of things in my life. I was young. I didn't know how to say no to people, so hence why I didn't, yeah, I got worse, I guess. So I started seeing a therapist, and it was all great. I got techniques, I went through what happened, but about 2 years later it crept up again, and this time it was not anxiety, it was what I now know was and is OCD. So OCD has a stigma around it of being, about being clean, liking things in order, liking things like neat, which makes me so sad because it's such a wrong representation of the disorder, and it really it's hard because people don't know what they're suffering with is OCD, because it has this whole different stereotype of being about being neat, and it's almost seen as something good and being a quirk, and oh, I'm so OCD, I like to colour in the lines, you know. My pet peeve is when people say things like that. So yeah, so I started getting these horrible thoughts that I couldn't get rid of, and I realised it wasn't normal. I needed to see someone about it, so I went to CAMHS, which is Child and Adolescent Mental Health Services, and I went to see a therapist, lovely lady, but again, I'm not sure she saw that it was OCD. I think she might have seen it was just high anxiety which had caused this. OCD is like an anxiety related disorder, so you know, it can be confused. So yeah, so I was seeing her for a while, and then unfortunately she, I'm not sure, I think something happened with her, so I had to go and I was putting on the waiting list for DASS, which is Depression and Anxiety Services, which is the adult version of CAMHS basically. So I went to DASS. It's now, I think it's called TalkWorks now, something different. I started seeing a lady there, and she was giving me techniques. I think we were doing CBT, where it was like you write down, you try and like change the way your brain thinks. So we did CBT, which was I had to write down the thoughts. Every time I had like a thought or really distressing thought, I would write it down. And unfortunately that just wasn't helping me. I wasn't getting better. I was just stuck in the same situation. And I also don't think I was helping myself enough. So after that she said, I think I'll see if we can get you to see somebody else, somebody maybe more trained in that area, maybe had done a bit more training. I'm not really sure. I'm not saying she hadn't done training. She was lovely, really great. But yeah, so I'm now seeing a different therapist, which I've been doing ERP with, which is exposure, I think it's response prevention. So it's basically when you face your fears, like I'll have to like go to a place which will make me uncomfortable and like stay there for like a certain amount of time to like fight the thoughts. So yeah, with OCD it's really hard because it's so convincing, and it will convince you, you know, with any mental health condition, that what you're experiencing is real. Like not that it's real, obviously it's real, you're experiencing it, but that it's a danger, you are in danger, or you are a bad person. You get all these horrible feelings of guilt, of dread, of just sadness. So yeah. So I've actually, and also with this new therapist, I've found out more about OCD and how it works, which has been really useful for me when I'm having a bad day, and I can be like, oh, this is why I'm thinking this, you know, because OCD and my brain thinks in this way instead of maybe the way it is supposed to think. So yeah, and apart from the thoughts, I also get I guess they're called different themes. So I'll feel the need to excessively, like, I don't know, recently it's been excessively clean, like everything does need to be perfect, which is obviously the stereotype of OCD, but that is one theme of it. Another theme I've had is the religious theme. As I've been brought up religiously, I've always been told to pray about things, so it has been, I feel I need to pray to stop bad things from happening, or I can't listen to a certain song, otherwise something bad will happen. It sounds crazy when you haven't got it, but it's so real when you have it. But yeah, I think I'm quite close to the end of my therapy now. I still have my bad days and I still have my good days. It's just knowing how to deal with each and letting myself have time to heal. Yeah, so I'm doing really well, but I know there's people out there who still struggle with their OCD. It's such a horrible thing to go through. And I think anybody with OCD or anxiety will know what I mean. When I say it controls your life, it controls everything, every single aspect of your life at its worst. So yeah. So some advice I would give for anybody thinking that they may be experiencing a mental health condition would be talk about it, don't bottle it up, talk about your feelings, be honest, try not to hide stuff. I know it's hard when you're embarrassed about something you've thought or you have to do, like a compulsion, so like I have to like switch off, I feel like I have to go and check the taps. Well, I used to, I don't really have this anymore, but I used to have to go and check the taps a couple of times to make sure that they were off. I would leave the house and think, oh my gosh, are the taps off? But yeah, don't be ashamed of those thoughts, don't be ashamed of those issues, because at the end of the day, you can't help it. You can help yourself, but you cannot help having a mental health condition. And the most important thing is realising, you know, writing down the affirmations, you know, I am worthy of love, I'm a good person, these are not me, I have nothing to feel guilty for, you know, just reinforcing those positive ideas. And yes, I would really advise therapy. I know it doesn't work for everyone, so I'm not saying it will, but for me it's really helped, you know. Once you find the right therapist, you know, you might be put with a therapist who you don't gel with you don't feel like maybe you're on the same wavelength, which is fine, you know. You can say, hey, like, I'm not sure this is quite working for me, Maybe could I see somebody else, you know. So yeah, therapy would be, like I said, I recommend it for anybody who is like me. I feel the need to talk. All these bruises on my neck. I feel the need to talk about things a lot, and that's just me. So yeah, and don't be ashamed of it. Don't think that it's a burden, because you won't realise how many good things can come out of you having this horrible thing. For example, I'm such a creative person. My OCD allows me to see things differently to what others may see them as. I can spot dangers quicker than others may spot dangers. I'm more empathetic maybe than somebody who might not have experienced this. You know, I think outside the box, I think in different ways than other people might. So there's positives to the negative situation. So yeah, I'm sorry if it's been a bit of a ramble, guys, but yeah, I just felt like this was a really good video to do, and hopefully it can help somebody. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!